All right, what's going on, guys? Since we all know I'm an absolute fashion icon, today I'm gonna be doing a try-on haul for the 2025 Black Friday / Dark Knight collab drop from YoungLA. In this day and age, because we all have terrible attention spans, I'm gonna rip through these as fast as possible, and I'm not gonna try to make outfits out of everything because that would just take way too long, and let's be honest, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with outfits anyway, so that wouldn't even be helpful. I'm gonna give you guys my honest review of all the things that I got, because some of the drop I think is fucking sick and some of it not so much, just not my style. To each their own. I tend to prefer like very understated or subtle fashion. You could also call it extremely basic. And some of the stuff YoungLA comes out with is like very loud and just a little too much for me. Some of it's perfect, some of it's right in the middle ground, kind of pushes me outside my comfort zone a little bit. You know. So first up, we have the comfy collection. And I gotta say, I'm actually really happy with this. Again, I love like the understated stuff. These sweatpants are extremely comfortable and importantly to me, not super baggy. Because I know the really baggy fits are in now. I prefer a little bit less baggy like this. Not super skinny either, but I think this is a perfect balance. So we've got the sweatpants, the gray with the cuff, and then we have the crew neck. Really soft. I don't think you can go wrong with heather gray, especially in sweatpants, especially in like a full set. All right, this is the comfy collection in the black. So same sweater I was just wearing, just in black. All right, this is the hoodie for the comfy collection. Right now, I am 220 pounds-ish. I'm like almost all the way through a cut, and I'm about 6'2". And I'm pretty sure I got double XL or XL in all of the tops, and double XL or XL in all the bottoms. Generally, if something's on the baggier side, like if the site says that it's oversized or baggy or loose, I'll size down. And if something says that it's true to size, I will go double XL. I'm honestly really happy with the comfy collection just because like a heather gray hoodie is a staple in my opinion in my closet. All right, now we're into probably the most coveted item of the drop, which is the Batman compressions. Again, I'm about all the way through a cut, so I'm super flat right now. So now that we've got the excuses out of the way as to why I don't look really jacked, this is probably my favorite item of the drop. I think that the pattern on the front is just sick. I love compressions anyway. I do think the Batman logo is like a little on the corny side, but at the same time, the Dark Knight's fucking sick, and I don't think it takes away from like the look of the shirt. So I really like these compressions. This is the black. I got this in double XL, and I got 3 colors of this. All right, this is the gray-green version of the Batman compression. Let's see if I can get a little closer so you guys can see a little better. Still very gray, but just has like a hint of green in it. I think it's a sick color, kind of like a peat color. Yeah, these are nasty. I think these are sick. All right, this is covered in lint, but this is the black hoodie from the comfy collection. Again, really soft, really comfortable, pretty light. I won't show you guys every color of every item, but I just think it's important to give you, a couple colors of each. Yeah, just super simple, understated hoodie. I like this a lot. All right, and this is the gray version of the Batman compression. So very similar color to the gray-green, but just no hint of green in it. I also think every time YoungLA comes out with a new compression, they tweak the material and the fit just a little bit, and it's better every time. And honestly, I would be honest if it wasn't, but I find that these Batman compressions fit really well. Gotham needs me. I bet you every single YoungLA athlete that's doing a try-on haul is gonna say that line. And then they're also gonna do this. So yeah, I'm basically Batman now. I will be starting my night shift here in a little bit once the sun goes down. I don't think you can tell the difference, right? You would believe I had the Batmobile parked in the driveway, for sure. All right, so this is the long sleeve Batman compression, and this is the gray-green color again. Especially the long sleeves, just so clean. If you have a decent physique, we'll just leave the comments as to what my physique is out, but I do think like long sleeve compressions are just super tough. But yeah, these are super dope as well. The material is light, but it's not like super thin. There's on all the compression shirts, they have the rubbery strip at the bottom here to kind of prevent it from riding up too much. Fits me really well. This is a double XL. Just to give you guys a bit more of a color contrast, this is the black in the Batman long sleeve compression. I really like the sleeves are like tight on the end. So I feel like the ends of the sleeves on these compressions are a little tighter than the previous long sleeve compressions that YoungLA's done, which I like. Just makes it even more form fitting. And then when I'm training, sometimes I'll pull the sleeves up a little bit and they'll stay a little bit better now that they're tighter. Nice. So there's 3 different compression shirts in this drop. This is the new colorways for the Warrior compressions. The black and the red I think goes really hard. The designs on these are a little bit little on the fringe for me, but it reminds me when I used to play hockey and Under Armour, when we would wear Under Armour underneath our hockey gear. It had patterns like this on it that were like grippy to keep your pads kind of in place, but I think these are super sick. And then the patterning on the sides kind of like gives you a little bit of a V-taper, kind of accentuates that V-taper a bit. So this is the Warrior compression. This is also double XL. And then these are the last compression tees that are in the drop. These are called the Gothic compression tee. So they're kind of plain on the front. They've got some similar patterning on the shoulder to the Warrior. And then they've got this sick pattern on the back. And this is navy blue. And then I also got this in black. See if you guys see that. I just think that pattern on the back is pretty fucking sick. I don't know if you guys can really see that very well. Kinda. All right, this is called the proper long sleeve. I actually really like how this fits. I like when long sleeve shirts are a little tighter toward the hand, around the forearm. And this has like the raw cut edge, kind of like the shirt's inside out a little bit. Super, super soft. Hangs nice. This is a double XL. It's pretty stretchy. This is gonna be a dope pump cover. And this is in the black. All right, so these are the motocross shirts. I really like the pattern on these. Super, super light. This is a little wrinkly because I already wore it. I just took it out of the laundry, but this is an extra large and it's like a little short on me, kind of in the front, but you can get away with it. Yeah, I think these are pretty cool. And then they have, it's kind of more of like a streetwear vibe. They got some pattern on the back as well. All right, so this is the classic thermal long sleeve. And I believe this is an extra large, might be a double XL. As you can see, there's no like rhyme or reason or organization to this try on. I'm just keeping you guys guessing, right? That's the fun in it. But I really like these. Long sleeve thermal, super plain. Again, heather gray, I'm a big fan of heather gray. I like the fit, kind of hang off the chest a little bit. Not too tight through the arms, but they're not like super baggy. This is a nice pump cover at the gym as well, where you could wear it under like a jacket, under a vest, something like that. And this is my grout fit. My grout fit. You can hear my Canadian accent coming up. Here's the other color to the proper long sleeve that I got. This is like almost like an acid wash, or like a washed gray. Not acid wash, washed gray. This is a double XL. Actually, this might be one of my favorite pieces of this drop. Make sure you guys can kind of see. Yeah, it's a little on like the kind of edgy side because of these raw cut edges. Not something that I would like necessarily think of wearing, but putting it on, seeing how it fits, I think these are pretty dope. All right, now we're getting into some more of the Batman stuff. Some of the Batman stuff is way too out there for me and I didn't really like it. Like some of the jackets that are really, really loud, it's just too much for me. So I prefer the shirts and hoodies that are a little bit more on the simple side. I love this scene from the movie, or like this kind of the shot from the movie. And then on the back, we just have the Batman symbol. I like how these shirts fit too, kind of a more classic fit. The sleeves are not super baggy or super long. They're not cropped, kind of more just like a standard tee, a bit more my style. But I definitely like the graphic tee vibe. This would be a good pump cover at the gym as well. Also for reference, I do not have a mirror behind me. So like other than the tiny little screen on the camera here, I have no idea what I look like, which is why I'm kind of spastically moving around to kind of give you guys some perspective. All right, so this is like the comic book long sleeve. I don't know if you guys can really see that. I thought this was kind of cool. It's a little on the louder side, which is why I went with the color that is a little bit more kind of sedate, but you can see there's like, it's kind of like a comic book drawing of Batman on the front of it. And then there's like comic book panels, type illustrations on the sleeves and stuff. So I thought this was like pretty unique. I thought this was pretty cool. And I just like how this shirt fits. It's got the cuffs on the long sleeve, which I like. Hangs off the chest a little bit. Not too tight, not too loose. Pretty standard fit, classic fit, I like that. And I just thought like the artwork and stuff on it's kind of unique. It's a unique idea, unique concept. This is the other hoodie that I got, and this has the same scene on it, or kind of still as the t-shirt. I think this is, of all the different stills that they use on the shirts and hoodies, I think this is the hardest one for sure. Otherwise, we just got that simple branding on the front, little YoungLA on the pocket, raw edges on the cuffs and on the pocket here, and then that same kind of simple badge on the sleeve. Can't go wrong with a heavy classic fit hoodie, especially when it's a little bit more simple, but still has something unique on it. So this is another hoodie that I got that's it's not of the same hoodie collection as the one that I just showed you. I don't know how I feel about this. It's a little kind of out there for me, but at the same time, I love the color. It's super heavy, and like as much as the logo here, it's felt and it's embroidered on. As much as it's kind of like a big logo, the hoodie kind of goes hard. And it's also got this logo on the back. Fuck, I need a drink. Fuck, fire. So yeah, usually I'm not a huge fan of these like more like larger logo type of items. But this one, because it's kind of all the same color, like the kind of washed gray, it's like subtle enough that I'm with it. I'm with it. I mean, the Joker in The Dark Knight is just absolutely iconic. The Heath Ledger Joker is just the best one. Now, to be fair, I haven't seen the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, so I can't really say that. But this is a little bit more on the obnoxious side, but it's kind of the graphic tee vibe. So once you're going graphic tee, you can get away with being a little bit more obnoxious, a little bit louder. But the graphic itself is tough. These shirts are pretty heavy cotton too, by the way. So quality's there for sure. Thick cotton, again, I like the classic fit. All right, I'm pretty sure this is called the Core Baggy Tee. So this is a little bit more my style. It's just like a washed kind of peat or like kind of almost army green color, and just a classic fitting tee. This is great for so many things, and that's why I like clothing like this, a little bit more subtle. Pump cover, you could wear it just with a pair of jeans. You could just wear it with sweats like I am right now. I like the color on it though, pretty simple. The only branding on it's right here on the front, and I like the fit. Not super, super baggy, but it's not fitted. They also have fitted version of this shirt, which I got a couple colors of just because I like those staples in my wardrobe. All right, this is the other color that I got for the thermal long sleeve. So kind of loose cuffs around the hand, but really light material, stretchy, super light, which is why I actually wore this to the gym already as a pump cover. Navy blue though. I think thermals in general are just classic, and I really like classic colors, so like black, navy blue, heather gray. So this is dope. I wish that the cuffs were a little bit tighter on it. I don't like how they're so loose, but I know that's kind of in style right now. This is an extra large, so little on the short side, but can get away with it. So if you have like a well-developed upper back, a light shirt like this sits across the traps really nice. I like shirts like this for back day. So I think this is the Core Fitted Ringer Tee. I think this is what this is called. So a little bit more fitted, but still not super tight, or maybe I'm just skinny. Again, really, really subtle, staple in the wardrobe kind of thing. They got this little metal accent on the bottom. Personally, I don't love that, but you know, it's not that obnoxious. You can't really notice. So might even be able to take it off too. I don't know how, but. So this is just like super stretchy, super, super light. Wear this to the gym, wear it under something else, like that. Okay, so these are the flagship track pants, which a little outside my comfort zone with the whole baggy track pant vibe, but I actually do like the stripe down the side, and then of course everything's camo these days, and I actually kind of do fuck with that, even though it's a little on the louder side. Especially for the gym, could wear these with like a pair of white tennis shoes and just like a black or a light gray tank, like a beater, clean. I like these. If I was more of a fashion icon, I'd probably rock camo all the time, but I just got one pair of these because, like I said, a little outside my comfort zone, but I think these are pretty dope. Not super, super baggy either, which some of the track pants and pants that YoungLA comes out with are a little too baggy for me. Like you can't even see my foot at all because they're so baggy in the bottom, but these are a little bit more mild. So, whoa, get out of here. So these are the black version of the gray sweats that I was wearing, the comfy collection. Again, I really like how these fit. They're like a super classic fit, cuffed on the bottom, and they're not like tapered really, but they're also not too baggy. So I really like how these look. Just super versatile. And again, I'm not really with it with like the super extra baggy stuff. So this is kind of like exactly what I would want out of a sweatpant. And then every year for Black Friday, YoungLA is doing like an iteration of like this really, really soft kind of fleece vibe, which is perfect for winter coming right around the corner. Usually on like Christmas Day or like a cold day in the winter, I'm rocking this while I'm working or whatever it is, relaxing. The outside of this is so insanely soft. The only colorways were like white on light green like this, or white on blue, which is dangerous. Like for sure coffee's gonna end up all over this. I don't wear a ton of light stuff because I'll inevitably stain it, but super soft and comfortable in the meantime. And then on the inside, got a little pocket here. The inside is a different material than the outside, but these are hella warm. And I'm not gonna be able to keep this on for very long because I'm already sweating going through this try-on haul. Now I know some people wear stuff like this kind of out as well. For me, this is more of like an at-home relaxing vibe, lazy Sunday type of thing. Continuing with the theme of jackets, this is the Yellowstone jacket, which I think is actually dope. Kind of similar to the Bronco jacket that they've come out with before, which were a hit, but this is definitely like a heavier jacket. Definitely a winter jacket for sure. A little bit raw edges here, kind of faded, insulated to fuck. And then the cuffs on it, I don't know if you guys can see this, but the cuffs, like, they have a cuff, so it actually does sit on your wrist, snug around your hand, to kind of keep the warmth in, I assume. But then they have like this kind of almost extra layer around the cuff as well. And the only really kind of like branding is here. But I think this is pretty sick. It reminds me of like a Carhartt jacket. And I don't really know what this jacket's called. Kind of a little dressier. Like obviously it's not a dress jacket, but kind of short length. A little bit more like bomber style, but it's still that same kind of like corduroy material as the Yellowstone jacket, just not as thick. It is insulated, but it's just not as thick, not as warm. Pocket on the front here. The sleeves are not super baggy, but they're also not, you know, tight around the wrist. But I think this is very versatile, running errands kind of thing on the weekend, whatever it might be. You can tell I don't get out of the house very much. We got pockets on the sides, and they are snap pockets. Yeah, pretty clean. Definitely wear this with like a pair of jeans and some boots. Country vibe. I'm clearly a country boy. All right, this is the Comfy Collection zip up hoodie. The Comfy Collection has joggers like this, and then it has no cuff joggers, and then it has hoodies, crew necks, which I showed you guys, the zip ups, this one, and then they also have shorts, and I think they did a quarter zip as well. I really like this. Zip up over top of like a beater at the gym is a nice like pump cover type fit with some sweats kind of thing. And then if you wanted to go and you'd leave it unzipped, but if you zipped it up, a little bit more of like a full set kind of vibe. I mean, it is a full set, but you get what I'm saying. This hoodie feels like it's a little bit lighter than the pullover hoodie version of this. Super simple, minimal branding. I'd say the one thing I don't like about it is just that the zipper is kind of like really shiny. That's not really my style. I don't wear a ton of zip ups anyway though, but I like this. Overall, I like it. All right, so these are called the throwback baggy joggers. So these are a little bit baggier than the Comfy Collection joggers. So pushing the limits of what I prefer, but definitely still passable. And they're cuffed on the bottom, which kind of saves them. This is navy blue. It's kind of like a washed navy blue. And they've got like the more like classic kind of logo on there. Definitely a classic fit. I'm definitely gonna rock these. I like them. I like the simplicity of them. I really like this logo. These are an XL for me. So because they're the baggy fit, I sized down to XL because if I were to go double XL, then I think they'd be too baggy. And I also got these in black and gray. Okay, yeah, so I got them in light gray, and then I got them in this kind of more like faded, like washed charcoal gray, kind of like the same color as the shirt I'm wearing. Hey, you stay. You know what? I think these are actually double XL, and the blue ones are XL. Because these feel a little bit baggier, and if I remember correctly, I ordered one in each size because I didn't know exactly which one was gonna fit better. But again, these are still not too baggy. A little bit more relaxed for sure than the Comfy Collection, but good fit. So the pump cover joggers came out like, I wanna say 2 years ago, the originals, and then they came out with the camo version of the pump cover joggers with this drop. So honestly, these I think fit better than the original versions of these. The original ones were really, really baggy, but still cuffed, so they kind of like, they settled really funny at the bottom. These actually fit really well, and they're called the pump cover joggers because like they're really light, so nowhere near as heavy as these like throwback baggy joggers or the Comfy Collection joggers. These ones are super light, so you can still kind of get that baggy vibe at the gym, but you know, you're not gonna be sweating your balls off if you have them. Yeah, actually I'm pleasantly surprised with these because I remember when I put on the original pump cover joggers, I was like, a little too baggy for my liking. So I think these ones are slightly more tapered than the OGs, and I like that. All right, this is the Core Fitted Ringer tee. I think the last shirt I was just wearing, I called the Core Fitted Ringer tee, but that's actually the washed fitted base tee. Let me check. Washed tailored tee. So the shirt I was just wearing is called the washed tailored tee. This is the Core Fitted Ringer tee. This one is more fitted than the washed tailored shirt that I was just wearing. This is sick. I really like this. Again, I'm a basic B. I like it that it hugs the arms, but it's not like super tight through the body. It kind of hangs off the chest. And like I said before, I'm a sucker for heather gray, basically anything. The black logo, this is the only branding on it, which I really like. Simple branding, love the fit. I'm pretty sure this is an extra large. I think I also got a double XL in this because I wasn't sure exactly how it was gonna fit, but after I've lost, 15, 20 pounds, this seems to fit pretty well. And then you could obviously wear this with just like super simple fit, tennis shoes, pair of jeans. You wear this to the gym, arm day, any day. It is kind of hugging my little bird chest, so maybe you could wear it for chest day too. You can wear it out, you can wear it as a base layer under like a vest or a jacket. Take it from me, fashion icon Evan. Yeah, I like this. I think this is a fit. I might wear this to the gym tomorrow actually. So this is the Moto tee in the off-white. I already showed it to you guys in the gray. This is an extra large. I'm always hesitant to get off-white or white clothing because I'll stain the fuck out of it, but I just thought this one, like with the logo, with the black, the contrast was just sick. And to be honest, this is like with the camo on the bottom, this is probably what the kids are wearing these days, This is a bit more of that like streetwear vibe. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but anyway, this is kind of a fit. Yeah, this is sick. This is probably my favorite of the designs for the Popeye collab. Just a classic fitting shirt. Bit of a faded black color is like the base. And I wanted to grab this because Popeye's just a G. So pretty classic fit. Sleeves are actually kind of tight. Maybe my arms are just pretty fucking big. But sleeves are kind of tight. Not super oversized fit. Not cropped. Very standard shirt. My style. Quote unquote boring. Although I don't know if I'd call the front of this boring. This graphic with these camel pants is a lot going on here. I don't know if I would wear these two together, but yeah, the Popeye collab is dope. I gotta say, when YoungLA does some of these collabs, like impromptu, like the Tom and Jerry or the Scooby-Doo collab, when I first saw those, I was like, you know, kind of like, what are we doing here? But then the Tom and Jerry tees, I wasn't able to get any of the Scooby-Doo ones, but the Tom and Jerry tees are pretty fucking sick in my opinion. Then we got a couple stragglers left here of shirts that I think I've already shown you guys, but I'll chuck those on too. And then this is that core fitted ringer tee. This is a double XL. So I just showed you guys the light gray in an XL. This is the black in a double XL. So a little bit more kind of subtle fit. Doesn't hug the arms quite as tight, although this fits probably better than the XL does on me. I don't know, they're both good. Super stretchy, super light. These are gonna be go-to shirts for me, for sure. Especially now that it's cold here in Canada. I'm gonna be wearing pretty much hoodies every day. So I'll wear basic t-shirt like this under a hoodie, pair of joggers, boom. That's my fit 7 days a week. You can tell I get out of the house a lot. So this is the Warrior tee. This is the washed Tailor tee. So this is the navy blue, but it's like a washed navy blue, so it kind of has some like flex through it almost. All right, that is everything that I got. I actually have another package on the way, but it was shipped in multiple packages, so I wanted to get this out as soon as possible for you guys. But yeah, I hope that this gives you an idea of what some of the stuff looks like and fits like. And of course, you can use code Evan for 30% off the entire site during the duration of the Black Friday sale. Everything on the site, there's a huge restock. There's obviously the huge Black Friday drop, and then everything that is currently on the site, that's everything will be 30% off with code Evan. You can't stack codes, but every single code will just be 30%. So that's why you should use mine. But you know, in all seriousness, any support is always super appreciated from you guys. If you've watched all the way through here, thank you for your time. And I hope you guys enjoyed my, you know, sarcastic and maybe ignorant commentary on fashion.